All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, and up on TSN 2. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jonas Siegel from The Athletic. How are we feeling this afternoon? How's everyone doing?
I know you had to stay up for the whole thing because you had to. You were on TV right after. Jonas, did you make it?
I did. 2:53, I believe the game ended. There's like a pocket in there. I don't know if you guys have this sometimes when you're lying on the couch where I was like in and out of consciousness and didn't actually know what was happening. But then like 15, 16, 17, 18.
That's when you came back into consciousness? Yeah, my wife had a nap. She had about a 4-hour nap or 4-inning nap.
That's good.
So she fell asleep, did not see the 7th inning. I said, that was one you wanted to see. Like, that was the one Vladdy scored on kind of a brilliant slide. Then Otani, the last time he actually saw a pitch and he hit it to the moon. Like, you missed a pretty important inning. But 7, 8, 9, 10, and then she woke up and she was flying. That's the rest of the game. It was actually like a perfect nap for her. And I didn't have the ability to do that because I'm waiting for the game to end. And I thought it was going to end so many different times when the Dodgers were pressing. And unfortunately, the Jays, they had an opportunity in the 10th, and Schneider gets called out at the plate. I think it was the right play to send him.
What?
Yes. Because look what happened the rest of the night. Go for it. Like, that's your chance. You're hoping that someone makes a mistake. Hernandez made a perfect cutoff throw to Edman. Edman threw it perfectly to Smith. Like, you're banking on one of those two throws just being a miss, and you win the ball game. And I'm okay with that aggression. I was not okay with a lot of different things that took place throughout the game.
The throwouts at third base were ridiculous.
Yes.
The runners getting picked
That
off.
was on Kiner Falefa. He wasn't paying attention. He didn't realize where the ball was. But they had their opportunities. It's a heartbreaking loss. Like, it's a heartbreaking loss. 18 innings, a war of attrition. Both teams deserved to win. I know that's a goofy thing to say in the World Series. It's pro sports. They both played their hearts out. It was just such an entertaining sporting event. It was as entertaining as you can find, and yet someone's got to win, and the Dodgers won last night.
Don't you guys think it was like two parts? Like, the first half of the game was really entertaining, and then extra innings forever was like, oh, man, nothing is happening.
Yet it's nail-biting. It's like, because it can end at any point.
Right.
So I would disagree with that it wasn't, like, it was more suspenseful. You're right. Nothing was happening. There were 9 scoreless innings. Yeah. The bullpens were perfect.
Dude, Kershaw looked like he was 65 wheeling out there.
I know. And that was the opportunity.
Clayton Kershaw is going out there with the bases loaded.
And there's another one. Lucas swung at 3 ball fours.
Yes, man. I was like, you knew he was going to throw it in the dirt. And he did. And it was like a free run right there.
And it's a tough spot because of the action on the pitch. And you do not want to go down looking 3-2 bases loaded. Like, you just don't want to do it. But 3 straight pitches out of the zone. And with that umpire last night, you couldn't trust he was going to call the right call anyway.
The 16th inning, and he's like, I just want to get out of here. Like, I'm done.
The umpire, you mean?
Yeah.
But that would suggest he would have called ball 4 and said, take your base so at least we get a run on the board.
Yeah.
But
did you guys have a problem with the... I mean, by the end of extra innings, the Jays lineup was just beat to you-know-what. Like, it was gone.
Well, self-inflicted, though.
But that's what
Schneider took him out of the lineup.
Do you think their plan for how they managed the end of the games was maybe too... Like, are they too firm with it? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, with Miles Straw coming in. Well,
Springer got hurt, no choice.
Choice.
Kirk got hurt, no choice.
No,
Kirk they took out because they wanted a faster runner. And they put in Heineman, who was like, it's not like he's the Flash.
Right.
I don't know.
No, it was what I think we saw on display last night was a team that's been there and done that, literally and figuratively. Back in, was it 18? They went 18 innings against the Red Sox. Was it 18 or 22? Anyway, the previous longest game in MLB playoff history was the Dodgers and the Red Sox. Max Muncy hit a walk-off home run to win the game. They had been there. They had done it. No one can predict it's going 18 innings. Of course you can't. But if clearly Dave Roberts, he didn't take anybody out.
No.
Like, he didn't pinch run for anybody. He didn't do anything. I think they made one substitution the whole game in terms of their offense. Schneider, to your point, had been doing it all year. Late in the game, Barger comes out, Straw goes in.
It's the same moves. Lucas goes from left to right, and
Yes, get
Straw
Kiner
plays
for left
that.
in. Now, he went in large part because of Springer. But once Springer came out, for me, that was immediately imperative that they adjusted their game plan. Because Springer's out, they intentionally took Bichette, Barger, and Kirk out, and they had nothing left. Like, it was Vladdy, maybe Varsho, who had a tough night.
That was it, man. Those were the only two guys that were going to.
And that was it. Maybe Ernie Clement, who's been great, but, Ernie, you're asking a lot out of him every single time for him to supply something. Yeah. And it just felt like every single inning in extras, there would be an opportunity to do something, and Heineman was coming up.
Yeah.
And then there's Miles Straw. They're asking Miles Straw to bunt down 0-2 in the count. Yeah. That's how little faith they have in him. They're like, you're down in the count. You're 2 strikes against you. We still are going to put the bunt sign down on you because we have no faith that you can do anything.
Was that 1 out or no outs? I can't even remember.
That was with 1 out, I think.
Still 0-2, you're telling a guy to bunt.
It's a horrible message to send. Like, we have no faith you can put this ball in play.
Yeah.
And he didn't get the bunt down properly. So, it's just a heartbreaking evening for the Blue Jays, for Blue Jay fans. And how do you recover? Game 4 is coming at you so quickly. We're 4 hours away from first pitch.
I've experienced it once going long like that. We had triple overtime against the Detroit Red Wings, and it was like game 3. It was like a swing game, and they were an older team. And I thought to myself, if we could just find a way to squeak this one out, maybe we got a big-time advantage because there's going to be not a lot of time at the next game. Like triple overtime's a long time in hockey. And
like
Larionov, man, like Larionov beat like Bates Battaglia, who was the last man back, and roofed one on Arthur Zerbe, and I was like, we're in big trouble now. And they smoked our asses the next 3 games. And it was game over.
That's the concern that
after one of these marathon games, whoever gets the victory has got so much more mojo, and the other team's just out of gas. That's my fear.
That would be my fear, too. Like, if you believe in the intangibles, and you do because you experienced it, you lived it, so you can speak to your experience. Sure, baseball's different. Every sport is different. But the Dodgers left there, and they could put their feet up and say, yes, it was tough. Yes, we're on fumes, but we won the game.
And guess who's coming to the mound?
And Otani's coming up tonight. Now, Otani is...
By the way, he'll be better than ever tonight. Don't even think anything else.
Because he is such a freak of nature, I guess that should be what the expectation is. But, yes, he got intentionally walked a ton, but he was... he was running a lot. He had a ton of at-bats last night. It's a lot of energy just being on the top step and being jacked up for the game. I'm curious to see what he's got. Like, I'm curious to see what he's got because they're not going to pitch to him.
Dude, how could you pitch to that guy? And we talked about it before the series started. After what Raleigh did to them, how can you throw that guy anything after what he did in the last game against Milwaukee with 10 strikeouts in 3 bombs in 1 game? And it was like he woke up, and now he's a monster out there. Anything close, Rod Black, our buddy, tweeted it out. He's like, anything over the plate's going over the fence, so good luck with that.
Well,
insanity.
And Dominguez, the pitch he threw him was effectively a pitching machine that Otani programmed himself. Like, it was, if Otani was in charge of throwing a pitch.
This pitch, give me this one, and I'm going to destroy it.
Were you guys thinking that in the moment? Like, you should not be pitching?
I was saying I don't care that Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman are behind him.
I had no faith in Mookie Betts or Freeman.
Betts did nothing last night.
Yeah,
now, Freeman obviously did in the end. Now, it was on Brendan Little, his second inning. Something was bound to happen. Freddie Freeman is a beast. But I'm sorry, Shohei Otani is a completely different individual. And like last night, 12 total bases, 9 times on base, 4 extra base hits, 4 intentional walks. That's 2 of his last 4 games have been the craziest games we've ever seen before.
Isn't he like 7 for his last 7 with 5 homers and 2 doubles or something?
At Dodger Stadium.
At Dodger Stadium.
Because game 4 against the Brewers was at Dodger Stadium, and then last night. So, yeah, like the guy in that particular situation, it's the 7th inning, you're up 5-4. You can't pitch to him. You cannot pitch to him.
Well, and they told you that they thought they screwed up because they didn't pitch to him.
The rest of the night, they knew they made a mistake.
I don't know how hard is it to just every time the guy goes up there, he hits a homer or a double, and you're going to throw him anything to hit. That's it's 4 chicken fingers down.
Yes.
Or the Barry Bonds treatment where it's like, we're going to pitch to you, but we're going to roll it past home
Right.
plate.
Or it's going to hit you.
Yes.
Like we might actually hit you here after 2 doubles and a home run. Like if you want to lean in, go ahead. We'll give you the bag, but we're going to send you with a message. That's old school. That doesn't happen anymore. But
I think it's pretty cool to see as a sports fan to see a guy in baseball because it's not like fluid like hockey where it's moving, but to see a guy dominate a baseball game like that,
it's crazy.
Like that's amazing. For a guy to dominate like that. And tonight he's going on the mound.
I know that's what's crazy is that it doesn't stop with Otani.
2 doubles, 2 homers, and just on base every single time. And by the way, tomorrow night I'm going to be on the mound and dominating your asses. Like it's crazy how good that guy is. The goat of goats, like hands down.
Well, what would you guys even compare it to? Like I was thinking, like watching their lineup, and I was like, Betts is a really good player. Freeman, really good player. MVPs. He is in like a total different stratosphere from those guys. And that's like, I don't know what's the comparison. Like, is it McDavid? Like, it's greater than McDavid's between McDavid and the second best player? You know what I mean?
I think it's way greater than anything we've ever seen.
I think you're right.
Like, it's just on a different level. And it's not even close. Like, if you want to talk about I've always been like Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, everything is after that. This guy is levels ahead of that. It's amazing to see him dominate a baseball game.
It's tough to argue because at the like his presence in the batter's box is
horrifying.
It's terrifying.
Dude.
It is terrifying, and he's so good. He sprays the ball all over the park. Like the double he hit to cash runs, I think that was after the Kirk home run, I believe. Like that's just textbook at bats. Like that's just, he's so dialed in. And now, like you said, he's going on the mound tonight and he's just going to throw filth. Like he's just going to be disgusting, you presume. And what it does is put the pressure on Shane Bieber to match that or exceed it. Like Bieber's got to have the start of his life tonight.
All the more so because who's going to go in?
Exactly. Now on both sides. Like there's pressure on Otani too. He can't just give him 2 or 3 innings tonight.
Yeah.
They literally used everyone last night.
Literally.
They had Yamamoto up
Yeah.
in the bullpen. So the Dodgers are on fumes too. And if you're the Blue Jays,
if you don't think Otani's giving them 6 dynamite innings, that's all he's going to give them.
That's fine, but then that means Bieber's got to match it and keep it in check. And when they go to the bullpen, because both teams are going to do it, that's when you've got to win tonight if you're the Blue Jays. Clearly, I mean the World Series I think is on the line tonight. This is it. You go down 3-1 in their park. You got to play Game 5. Snell's getting possibly redemption tomorrow night. You savage a kid in a tough spot. You know it's a heartbreak from last night. You got to win tonight. Like, you got to tie the series up tonight, and it's going to be about getting after Otani. Like, you've got to find a way to get him out of the game. And Springer's not going to be available. Like, we don't know that officially, but I think he's done, right? It feels like he's done. That leads to Bichette probably playing DH tonight, which I think is actually better for him. Just figure out your bat, right? Find a way to contribute offensively. And someone's got to come up large. Like even Vladdy, who's been fine, no extra base hits through 3 games. You know, Vladdy came up a lot in extra innings last night. He had chances to break it open. Didn't happen.
Like Jeff said, he's like the only guy.
He's the guy that can match. Yeah. He maybe can't match, but he's a guy who can get close. Like if Otani's going to do that, Vladdy's got to basically be right behind him in terms of production, and especially with Springer out.
Do you bat Bo leadoff?
I don't know if he can run fast enough if he gets on base and you're trying to move him over. I don't know what you do with Bichette because he's nowhere close to 100%. But he's got to play. Man. He's got to play, and he's got to stay in the game. You know, unless you have a big lead. But if he's DHing, even then, just leave him in the game. Like I think Schneider would learn that lesson from last night. He learned 2 lessons, and both of them were too late. Don't pitch to Otani. Don't take power bats out of a close game where it may go deep in the World Series.
How did you show up in Los Angeles after the guy hit 2 bombs in 2 different games in Toronto and say, okay, we're just going to try to keep pitching to this guy?
Well, and it would be one thing if he was 0 for 3 going into the 7th inning.
Yeah.
And you looked at him and thought he's off or we got him.
Yeah, he was locked in.
He was so dialed in. 2 doubles and a home run prior to the 7th inning. What more did you need to see?
Nothing.
Like, that's the ball game in the end. After, they had a 4-2 lead, they had a 5-4 lead, and that's what makes it so frustrating, I think, if you're the Jays. Like, he had ample opportunities. Yes, it was a chess match in extra innings.
Well, we haven't even mentioned him. You got basically as good as you could ask for Scherzer. Like, was it 4 2/3? Pretty good.
I thought he did his thing, man.
Right?
I don't know what else you could have asked from that guy.
I liked when they took him out and he was like, yeah, cool. I get it this time.
Yeah, well, and I think he probably looked back on the last one and said, I got to relax a little bit here. Like, I'm fired up and I'm energized, but it's the World Series and I can't show up everyone all the time. I think he understood. And that's what sucks because there were so many incredible moments last night. I actually compiled a list. You guys want to hear this list?
Did you rank them?
Yes, I have the 5 things that will now be forgotten because the Jays lost.
Love that.
Okay? You guys want me to run this list down?
Go ahead.
Number 5, Scherzer leaves with the lead. Scherzer left with the lead. And that's a 41-year-old Max Scherzer who gave them everything he could. He gave up 2 solo home runs, but you can live with that. Solo home runs you can live with. And obviously he got tagged for another earned run when he left the game, and Fluharty came in and couldn't close the door. But 41-year-old Max Scherzer leaves with the lead in the World Series. That's just, unfortunately, going to fade into history. Number 4, the Barger throwing out Freeman at the plate.
That guy's got a hose, man.
Yes. It's an all-time great World Series play that if they win the game, you'll never forget that play at the plate to get them out of a jam. And
it was like the Jeter play against Oakland. Remember when Jeter was at shortstop and all of a sudden he just ended up at home plate and he just made that incredible play? You never forget that play.
You'll never forget it. Like, he closed on it so well. It's a hose to
biggest
the plate.
hose in the league.
Yeah, it was just 98.5 miles per hour and guns out Freddie Freeman. And it was...
Well, and like you think of like if they had won that game, the 2 moments he would have had from the World Series: pinch hit, grand slam, throw out Freeman at the plate.
Yes, exactly. And that fades into history because they lost last night. Number 3, Alejandro Kirk, the 3-run home run. That's such a massive moment in the game. Like, at the time, you're like, they're down 2-0.
They're back in it. They're alive.
Take the lead. They're up 4-2 at that point. Like, that 3-run home run, there's Kirk continuously doing what he's been doing all year. The most clutch, catcher. He's calling a great game behind the plate. He's producing, with the bat in his hands. It was a monumental moment that, again, that made it 3-2. Yeah, that made it 3-2.
Well, and then they chased Glasnow pretty soon after that.
That's right. That was basically curtains for Glasnow at that point. And you realize they're going to the bullpen. This is huge.
That is their Achilles heel.
That's their Achilles heel. So the Kirk 3-run home run, that's at number 3, fading into history because the Jays lost last night. Number 2, I have Vladdy's fundamentals, 2 of them in particular.
Yeah.
Him throwing out Teoscar at third, where he comes off the bag, which is a really savvy play.
Knowing he's not going to get the out and saying, I'm getting the guy at third.
Yes. Throws a bullet to Clement to get them out of that inning and out of that jam. And also the slide, the 5th run, the 5-4 slide.
Tap at home.
He stops short and taps over Smith's glove. Like, that is so savvy. And he obviously throughout the playoffs, it's been about the home runs, the grand slams, the big hits, the bigger than life kind of personality that Vladdy has put on display. And yet he went first to home after they put on multiple hit and runs. Like, he was out of gas. And he goes first to home, unbelievable slide, unbelievable tag, and then the throw to third to get Teoscar out. Vladdy's fundamentals, unfortunately, fade into history.
I think what he's doing and what you're seeing is something that we preach with the Maple Leafs a lot in the playoffs, where it's like, it doesn't have to be an Austin Matthews, like, patented snapshot. It can be Austin Matthews doing something else to be a difference maker in the game. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you saw from Vladdy, where it's, okay, there's no homers, there's no extra base hits, but I'm going to contribute in a different way, or try to. Because if you just lock yourself into one thing, that's just a lot of pressure, man. And you just become one-dimensional. And he's showing that he's the real deal, man.
Famously picked off at second in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Immature, sleeping, lack of leadership, lack of maturity, can't happen. And 2 years later, this guy's playing like a grizzled veteran who has winning habits top to bottom. And that was on display again last night. And the number 1 unfortunate story that will fade away in history because the Jays lost the game last night was the brilliance of Eric Lauer.
Yeah.
Eric Lauer went 4 2/3 of extra inning brilliance. 4 2/3, man. He threw 68 pitches.
Yeah, you're thinking when
night.
a guy does that, you're winning the ball game.
Yes, and it's so unfortunate because he has been such a bright light for them all year. Like, he was a savior during the middle of the parts of the season when they were having injuries and Scherzer wasn't around and they hadn't acquired Bieber yet. There was a lot of uncertainty of what was going to happen. And when they really took off, Lauer was at the forefront of that rotation. Like, when they started really winning June, July, into early August, Lauer was a huge part of that. And got to September, they demoted him, sent him to the bullpen. Throughout the playoffs, they barely used him. And last night, they needed him. And he could have come in rusty. He could have come in and say, I don't have it. You don't trust me anyway.
Yeah. Oh, you need me now.
Now you need me, of course. Now you need me. Okay, let's see what I got. 4 2/3 of just brilliant extra inning World Series pitching, and in the end, it's all for naught.
Did you guys have any thought that they should have put in Bieber at a certain point? Because, like, I just was thinking, you're right there, right? Like, you're right there from winning this game. If you can protect the lead, you know.
Were they, though, right there after what we just said about when they were coming
No,
up
and
to
I
bat?
guess that's the equation, right? Like, are you going to be able to score enough runs? But you know what I mean? Like,
run.
You're right on the 1 yard line. All you need to, like, is punch it in. And yeah, you don't start him tomorrow, but at least maybe you win this game. And if you win this game,
I don't think they were ever going to go to Bieber. I think
Never?
I don't think so, because I think it became very clear you needed a starter in Game 4. You couldn't throw a bullpen game tonight after last night.
yeah, that's true.
And I think what became an unfortunate reality was the only way they were going to score a run last night is if the Dodgers' arms just fell off and they basically walked runs in, because they just never were close. Like, the Dodgers were hitting balls to the warning track every inning, it seemed like. How many times were you like, that's gone, that's
Yeah,
gone?
Will Smith hit one where it was like, that's out.
He thought it was out. He was pimping that home run. Like, he thought it was out. And Varsho was on the warning track 3 or 4 times in extra innings. And it just never felt like the Jays' bats were going to give them anything as the game went deeper and deeper and deeper. But they got to find a way to do it tonight. Game 4 tonight. So more on that into the 5 p.m. hour. We've got Leafs Flames tonight, 6 p.m. puck drop on TSN 4. The Insiders are coming up. We'll tee that up. Dustin Wolf in town. The Flames in town. The Leafs are in Columbus tomorrow. Again, soft schedule, man. You've got to win these games.
No kidding.
Got to win these games. And we'll see what the injury report is as well. Will Willie play tonight? Right? Joseph Wall is here. When can we expect him to play? Pittsburgh does it again last night. We have all 32 teams playing tonight. We have a
I love the
frozen
Pitt story.
frenzy.
I love the Pitt story.
I got to be honest. I like it. I'm cool with it too. I'm not buying it. I'm not going to completely buy it. But Sid and Gino, like Gino Malkin, looks like he's 25 years old.
What about Mini Jerry? Pitt makes playoffs.
20%.
Oh, come on.
You think that's high or
Low. You got to give
We're
them
10 games
70%.
into the season. No,
70.
70%.
70% Pitt is making the playoffs.
No chance.
Wow.
It's 70%.
Dude, I can't stretch my arm that far, but a 500 on the side.
Who are they knocking out in their own division?
Dude, who
are they? But just let me.
let me just throw this at you. The Metro sucks.
Okay, but are they better than Jersey?
Are they better than the New York Rangers?
Are they better than Jersey?
No.
Are they better than Carolina?
No.
Are they better than Washington?
maybe? No.
Maybe.
They're not better than Washington.
Maybe.
I don't think they are. Those 3 teams, I think, are better than them.
So what? They'll sniff a Wildsy.
They could. They could, because you're right. Islanders, Philly, Columbus, the Rangers. The Rangers stink, man. They are
Stink,
brutal.
dude.
Doesn't matter what Mike Sullivan thinks he's doing there. They're not winning games right now. Okay. Mini Jerry's. I got him at 20%. Where are you at, Jonas?
65, 70.
21.
No.
Sensible. Greasy, but sensible. It's too early. It's too early.
Having
man.
said that, like the bottom 3 teams in the East right now, Boston, New York, Tampa.
Do you think any of those teams get out of it?
Tampa.
It feels like Tampa still has a real chance of doing that.
And we can say this now that Noodles isn't here and we're all here. Their goalie better pull his head out of his ass.
Vasilevsky?
Yes. I'm sorry. Noodles is going to come back and say they're not scoring, but he has let in some garbage goals, man, where it's like, what are you? You're not even Vasilevsky right now.
I can't comment on him anymore.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
You better not, man.
You need to recuse yourself of that conversation.
Just write down on a piece of paper what you want to say about Vasilevsky, and me and Hayes will say it later.
Like a hostage note. We'll read whatever note you have in terms of your Vasilevsky commentary. All right, Dreg's coming up.
Segment for when Noodles comes back. Did Jonas say it or not?
Okay. I'll do that. We'll do that with Noodles tomorrow. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.
I told you long ago on the road, I got what they waiting for.
Overdrive continues, brought to you by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. 16 games in the NHL tonight. That's pretty good. I like that idea. Insider Roundtable, Darren Dreger, Pierre LeBrun. How rare is this, Dregs? Like, is this something planned, or was it just random that we have every team in the NHL playing tonight, and then they realized, hey, this is kind of cool. Why don't we promote it?
Well, it's not random. I feel like this is maybe the second or third year, and I should know this, but I think it's the third year. I talked to Ray Ferraro about it earlier, and he wants to give ESPN credit, being the brainchild of this 32-team extravaganza or frozen frenzy, like they referred to it.
Yes.
But I think it runs deeper than that. I think this is something that the NHL marketing group has been on for a while.
I'm getting internet trolls, gentlemen, on my Penguins take. And I'd like to ask both of you, esteemed gentlemen, Dregs, you can start. Are you liking what you're seeing from the Pens, and are you buying it that they're going to qualify for the playoffs? Because I am.
Oh, I am liking what I'm seeing from Sidney Crosby and the Pens. I'm not ready to say I'm buying that they're going to qualify for the playoffs.
How much more do you need to see?
10 more games. History tells us by the 20-game mark, then you've got a pretty good understanding of what they're all about. But in fairness to Kyle Dubas and the group that is the Pittsburgh Penguins, they took a flyer on a couple of guys. Like, who had Justin Brazeau doing what he's doing on their bingo card? And I know Brazeau's agent pretty well, John Walters, and when he signed in Pittsburgh, there was a lot of work that had to get done. I mean, this is a young guy that has been fighting his way to find a spot in the National Hockey League since being dispatched by, I guess, Dubas
and the Leafs.
Technically the Marlies, but you're right, the Maple Leafs organization. But this young man was desperate for a little security. I'm not sure he has that in Pittsburgh, but he's following up where he was in Boston. Right?
He's a big boy.
He's an interesting piece.
He's
playing
a
with
big
Mantha
boy.
and who else is on that line? They've got a good thing going.
All right, Pierre, go ahead.
Malcolm.
Where are you at? Where are you at with the Penguins?
Well, first of all, I feel personally responsible for the Penguins' start. I'm just kidding, but
let me guess.
When I asked Crosby,
you knew this the whole way. You guessed this. Pierre.
No.
Confirmed.
I thought they'd be 2-7, not 7-2. What I'm saying is, when I asked Crosby in Vegas in September about his future, and asked him about Montreal, you may remember this story, and it created a bit of a you-know-what storm. And part of Crosby's answer that day was he understands that when the Penguins are out of it, that there's going to be this white noise and people asking him about his future. So you know what he's done? He's made sure there's no white noise right now because the team is 7-2-1. And listen, all kidding aside, if the Penguins are within distance, a reasonable distance of a playoff spot, there's zero chance anyone's going to be able to convince him and go to him before the March 6th trade deadline to ask him if he's ready to leave the Penguins. If that team has a heartbeat, that's where he wants to be.
All right. With this in mind and how well Sid's playing, because he's been unbelievable.
I know what you're going to do now. You're going to say, what, he's not getting traded?
No. I'm going to bring up the Olympics here.
No?
We'll go around the table. Mini Jerry's, you can start. Mini Jerry's, Sid plays a more important role or is more impactful in the Canadian success at the Olympic Games than Connor McDavid.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, come on.
What's your mini Jerry? He was at the Four Nations. He was better than Connor McDavid.
Who won
at
the
Four
whole
Nations?
tournament? McDavid.
One shot. It was a brilliant shot. McKinnon won the
20%.
MVP.
McDavid will be the showcase piece for Canada at the
He
Olympics.
better start playing better than he is right now.
Maybe he's saving it up for the Olympics. You never know.
20%. Jonas, where are you at with that mini Jerry?
Can you phrase the question again?
Sidney Crosby will have more of a positive impact on Canada's Olympic team than Connor McDavid.
5%.
5%.
It's an unfair question because
Why?
you're slighting somebody who's a great player.
It's
Thank
It's
you.
an
an
ass
obvious question.
Greg's?
I will say that Crosby will have a more impactful showing. I
Wow,
will.
you
There you
guys-
go.
And
You got to
only
give a
in this
percentage.
sense.
You got to give a percentage. It's called Mini Jerry.
All right, like 60%. Is that like and the reason I'm saying this is
this is the
because
best
you
insider
have to
roundtable
be
we've had.
defensively solid to win the gold.
Yeah.
On the world stage, right? And I'm going to go all the way back to the golden goal in 2010 and how that team was built. They were built to win 2-1, 3-2 hockey games, 1-goal games, tight checking games. Crosby is still, he's designed to play that way, and he's comfortable playing that way. And in that regard, I think he'll be all around better.
I'm with you, Pierre. What's your mini Jerry's on this?
I'm so honored, by the way, to be part of a mini Jerry. I've been waiting for years. It was on this bucket list I have written behind me, behind the camera. But yeah, I'm going to say on the ice, Connor McDavid wins MVP at the Milan Olympics, which I look forward to going over and covering.
You guys don't know how to play
off
the game.
the ice.
Yeah, we don't really.
Off the
Just
ice.
doing their own thing.
Sidney Crosby's
Freelance.
impact is already unreal off the ice. It started in Calgary at the Olympic camp in August, going to every player, making sure everyone understands, where they are in this process. Unbelievable the stories you hear about 87 taking this to another level in terms of being the captain of Team Canada. But on the ice, I think 97 is going to have the biggest impact.
Okay. I hope so. I want to clarify that. I want it to be the McDavid Olympics. He's earned it. He's deserved it. He didn't get a chance in 18 and 22. This should be his. But right now, Sid's playing better than McDavid is.
Yeah.
He is.
Pierre, I want to ask you about the Habs, and there's talk about Nazem Kadri and what are the Flames going to do with him? How are the Habs going to approach getting that centerman? I know that there's talk about the player that we just talked about in Sidney Crosby with this big picture thing where it'd be this fantasy world if they could get him. But are they kind of want to make a play now for that guy, or just the element of doing something as opposed to waiting around for something that might never be there?
Well, great tease, O-Dog, to our insider trading segment. Darren Dreger has an update on Nazem Kadri in that segment. But to answer your question, the first thing I'd tell you is the Habs, O-Dog, my understanding is, listen, they've gone through the entire league in their preparations internally and have a list of what centers could potentially pop up between now and next season, and obviously ahead of the March 6th trade deadline this year. You name a name, and it's come up internally with the Montreal Canadiens. And yes, Nazem Kadri is one of those names. I think the Habs would have interest in him if and when he became available at some point later this season, because it's still a need for them. And what's changed for Montreal, I'd say, from obviously years past, is now they've become one of the teams where a guy like Kadri, I think, anyway, this is just me, views him now in a different light. It used to not be a team while they were rebuilding or not really among the contenders where a lot of guys would wave to, and now I think they're entering that world where they would be a team where a guy like Kadri would be willing to go to at some point. It may not be him, may be another player, but that's my sense of that one.
Dregs, Calgary in town. I mean, they're not off to a good start. That's
No.
putting it lightly.
Awful.
They have been, and that's the primary reason why all of the speculation around Nazem Kadri is swirling about, right? It is in part because of the Canadian markets that could see a fit in Nazem Kadri, and right at the top of the list is the Montreal Canadiens, the Vancouver Canucks. A return to Toronto, a long shot, but you could see it, right? You can envision the interest. Brad Treliving has expressed that interest in the past, and he will again. But it's because the Flames are performing well below expectation. I mean, they probably should be closer to 500 or be a 500 team right now, and they're not. But they're a long way away from approaching Nazem Kadri and saying, hey, we're all in it for McKenna, and the ship is turning here. We can't do that with the likes of you, Rasmus Anderson, maybe Uyghur. Jonathan Huberdeau gets a little bit more complicated, but that's a long way away. That's a long way away, and probably closer to the trade deadline. And you also have a Canadian owner, Murray Edwards, doesn't play the tank game very well. It's too expensive. At the end of the day, you have to stay as competitive as
What's
you can.
expensive about the tank game?
Well, fans don't want to watch it. They don't want to come into your building. They don't want to buy tickets. And you look at Detroit, it's been in a rebuild for what, 9-10 years?
Buffalo,
and,
too.
You know,
How
teams
about Buffalo?
just don't want to go through it. So I understand the speculation. We're all a part of it. That's what we do. a long way away from determining that Nazem Kadri is legitimately in play.
Well, as for the team Calgary's playing tonight, the Leafs are, they're not loving the way things are going. They have some injuries. We don't know what's going to happen with Nylander's game time decision tonight. Tanev is out for at least the next 2 games. Riley's a little bit banged up. Joseph Wall's just returned. Like, Wall is an interesting one because he's missed camp. He missed the start of the year. Generally speaking, for players, especially goalies, it makes it very difficult for them to catch back up.
Yeah.
Regardless of the reasoning for them not being available. I'm concerned about that. Do you get the impression the Leafs are concerned that Wall is going to actually get back to where they need him to?
Well, they're going to give him whatever time is needed to get back to wherever that is. And
Is that the old take your time coming back, but hurry up?
Yeah,
well,
it feels like it.
Yeah, I mean, he's on LTI right now, so he can practice. I would think there's a strong chance of him accepting an LTI conditioning loan and playing games with the Toronto Marlies. And then at that point, whatever that is in the near future, you make a determination what his game looks like, if he requires more time or what is best for the team and for Joe Wall. Their hope is that he'll be ready sooner than later, but I don't think they pinpointed a specific date as to when he would be available.
Right. And Pierre, in terms of, what is available, it's well documented. Like, the Leafs don't have a ton of prospects. They don't have a ton of picks. It's early, but everyone's going to be, has the potential to be aggressive, I guess, at any point, depending on what's available. Like, what do you see what is running through Tree Living's mind at this point of the season, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned this last week, but the Leafs did check in again on Chinakhov and Columbus, who's asked for a trade. So have several teams. It's whether or not they end up going down that route with Columbus. It's not a player that changes your team dramatically. That would be more of a flyer. There isn't a lot out there because teams aren't ready to sell yet, and that makes it difficult. You mentioned the Leafs' assets. They don't have a first next year or the year after, in 26 or 27, so that makes it more difficult too. But they do have cap flexibility, which they haven't had in years, so that is something right now in this ecosystem. I want to touch on something too with the Leafs that I'm going to write about this week, but I find this to be a really interesting time this year in the NHL when you look at some long-established contenders like the Leafs, the Lightning, the Oilers, the Panthers.
Boston.
Panthers have obvious, While Boston announced their transition last year, I'd say, Jonas, right? They announced that they were going into a reconstruction. What I'm saying is teams that still intend to try and win and go far, the teams that I mentioned, they're off to so-so starts. And I think they're going to get the ship straight here. But while they're doing that, all these teams that have been building for years are trying to announce themselves now as we want in on the party. Utah's off to a flying start. Detroit's playing better. Chicago's playing better. Montreal's leading the Atlantic. This could be one of those seasons we're going to remember for a long time where the teams that are trying to stay at the top and the teams trying to join them. There's about 25 teams right now, and we saw this summer because everyone wanted to buy and no one wanted to sell. There's like 25 programs right now that are saying they're in it. Well, can't have 25 teams in the playoffs. So you want to say, theater and theatrics come the March 6th trade deadline. I am fascinated to find out which teams are going to be honest with themselves closer to March 6th because way too many teams right now that think this is still their year.
Yeah, it's true. You look at it, Utah's right there. Seattle's back in the mix. They've had a great start.
Good for Utah. You dumped on them for years.
Wait, let's clarify that.
Seriously, man.
I dumped on Arizona deservedly for years. They played in a high school rink for 2 years.
They did, and you goofed on that, and then they got to
drafted
Utah,
well.
and you said this last year. No one even cares about what's going on out in Utah.
No,
They still
nobody
stink.
did.
No, I know.
And they did stink. Did
Give
they
them
make the
some
playoffs?
props. Give them some
Shout
love.
out to Bill Armstrong. I like Bill. Bill's a good guy.
And his AGM.
And his AGM. Big fan.
You know who it is?
Go ahead.
Fergie's a good dude.
Fergie. He's a good dude.
I can neither confirm or deny that.
JFJ's putting in work. No, credit to Utah. That'd be great. I like their uniforms.
Dude, you
I like
hate
their
Utah. You have no
I have
time.
nothing. I have nothing against Utah.
Actually, aren't the 2 top teams in the league both enemies of yours? New Jersey being the other?
Yeah, 2 teams that nobody cares about.
Oh,
Okay.
Nobody cares about them.
I would love if
Come on.
Doogie just got a guest on from Jersey and Utah.
I'm kidding around. I'm kidding. Yes, I've hammered on both of them. But we'll see if they last to the end. I'm not convinced either team will. I'm not convinced either team will. All right, boys. There you go.
By the
You
way,
guys are happy to get dragged
by
into
the way,
that. Go ahead, Pierre.
by the way, as a longtime listener, I feel like the guy you've hammered on the most since the start of the year is Connor McDavid. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know what's going on there, Hayes.
Doesn't look great. Listen.
Change his mind, Pierre. You got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Change my mind.
I think I texted you guys this the last time you brought this up. I'm telling you right now, obviously he wants the Oilers to be playing better than himself. The Milan Olympics, priority number one for a lot of these guys.
I hope
I'm
so.
telling you right now.
I
All
hope
these
so.
guys are getting ready for that.
Everything I said was just being honest. That when you get into year 10, 11 of your career, you're not going to put up numbers like you did when you were 22, 23, 24 years old. And it's evident here. He's got one goal.
You were right about that.
Yeah, like he's...
I said 150 points and 60 goals, and you were laughing at me.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll still hit 100 points, but he's not off to some rocket start, right? Am I wrong in that?
No, and there's 20 other guys that are right with him.
Yeah. All right. We'll see. I got to be the bearer of bad news. All right, I got to bring the truth to the table, right, Jonas?
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, boys. Thanks for doing this as always. Good seeing you guys. Pierre LeBrun, Darren Dreger, TSN Hockey Insiders. I'm sure they love the end of that, getting dragged into Utah, Arizona, McDavid.
Yeah, the hatred.
The hatred. All right, the Grim Reaper of takes. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.
Pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jay Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near 5th Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
All right, Game 4 of the World Series tonight. Eric Hosmer will join us in about 15 minutes. Tee that up, get his take on what happened last night, how the Jays recover, what you can expect out of Otani on a mound tonight, what needs to happen with Bieber, who comes alive if Springer's out of the lineup. Comes at you quick, man. A night like last night, barely sleep, wake up, right back to Dodger Stadium. Like, Hedge is already there.
Yeah, but at least the game started 5 o'clock locally.
Sure.
Right? They're not paying the price like us.
But it starts at 5 locally today.
Oh, true.
Like, it's still the same amount of time, regardless of how you...
Going to bed not as late.
What the hell's this guy talking about?
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
They're going to bed at
Let's
12.
just stick with it. Comes at you fast.
They did not go to bed at 12. The game ended at 12.
Okay, so they went to bed at...
Dude, I'll bet you they didn't go to sleep till 4 or 5 in the morning.
All day.
Like, after a game like that, you're so fired up. And, like, how would you fall asleep after that? Regardless, they're both dealing with the same thing. Both teams have to get up. Both teams have to show up and play. But I just saw Hedge post on Instagram. She's already back at the park. Obviously, she's covering the game. Her and Keegan are there doing media and everything.
Mark Masters, when you're doing a live event game, when you have that reporting job, it's a full, like, you're there.
You want to know, Mark doesn't leave the rink.
I know. Like,
that is wild to me.
He gets there
morning
at
skate
9
and doesn't leave
until 12.
What is he doing?
He's a workaholic.
But it's not even possible to
Well,
work
he
for that
sends out
long.
he sends out a document of all the things that are going on in the morning to all of us,
Which is brilliant.
brilliant.
It is
and appreciated.
incredibly appreciated, and it's so detailed, and it's amazing.
And you've never read it.
I have read it. I have. I was breezing through it during the break. But that's 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. What's he doing between 4 and 7 o'clock until the puck drop? Like, you know what I'm saying? What is Mark doing for 6 hours between the end of
That is
the
a
morning
good point.
skate
Like, it
and
takes
the game?
to put together that document's an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, but
For
he has
him?
other work. That's like extra work for him.
What's he doing? Tennis work on the side?
No, like he has his official like ice chips. He's got to film ice chips.
Oh, he's filming stuff.
Yeah,
right.
he's got to do his Sports Center hits or that's hockey.
Yeah, true enough.
He's busy. It's a busy day for
Yeah,
him.
he's the best, man. Masters hammers it.
I bet you he finds a little nook or cranny around
Has
that
a little
building and
snooze?
has a little nap. I guarantee it.
Do you think anyone slept at Dodger Stadium last night?
Some of the trainers probably.
Yeah, 100%.
Just get on a table and just put a blanket over you. What
Yeah.
the hell's the sense of going home?
I guess, right?
Because
the
those
next
ball
day-
players, 5 o'clock game, they're coming in at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm. The staff too, right?
Yeah.
Like the coaching staff is probably right back. They got to set up.
Well,
and
you know
prepare
this.
and-
The equipment guys for the hockey team, they do that all the time.
Yeah, like if you're pulling into a building at 3 in the morning, unloading gear, and everyone's coming in at 10 or 11, you might as well just shut her down somewhere.
Yeah, I guess so.
You guys ever sleep in here?
No. What would be the purpose of that? We leave at,
I know.
6 o'clock. This would not be a place you'd want to fall asleep in. It's an old building. I don't know. There's people here, I'm
Ghosts?
sure, all
I
night.
almost slept in here one night. Doubleheader, and then the next morning was Trade Center.
Oh, yeah. That would
So
be.
there was a late game, and then all of a sudden you're back here for 7 a.m., and the game ended at like 1:30. It was like, where the hell am I going?
That would make sense. It would have to be something like that, a playoff scenario, or the next day you're doing something very early in the morning.
That's it, though.
Well, we'll see. Game 4 tonight. Eric Hosmer coming up. All right, Leafs Flames on TSN 4 tonight at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So the pregame in like half an hour. We're going up against you on the pregame. We're on TSN 2. We're battling you and Duffy.
All right, let's go.
Tell everyone you better have your A game because Jonas and I are going to crush the next hour.
Can't wait.
Crush it. All right. There you go. Eric Hosmer coming up. Confirm or deny coming up as well. Hour 2. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 2. Hour 2 Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Brian Hayes, Jonas Siegel, Game 4 of the World Series tonight. Leafs Flames in about an hour on TSN 4. The O-Dog off to do some pregame work, and he'll be on the panel this evening. We got 16 games in the NHL.
I have a question for you. So, off of your Connor McDavid slander?
Let me...
Disbelief?
Okay. Can I
Questioning?
flush this out quickly before
Yes.
you ask me this
Okay,
question?
go ahead.
Because I've been thinking of it recently. Because I get accused of being this, like, you're a McDavid hater. I was, in my opinion, saying something that was not remotely like some explosive opinion.
Okay.
If you look at the history of the game, Gretzky, Lemieux, Crosby, Ovechkin, the best years of someone's career in terms of points, in terms of explosive offense, is generally year 3 through 8, maybe 3 through 9. He's in his 11th season. He's married now. They go to the Stanley Cup final every single year. It's an Olympic year. There's a lot going on in his world. And the reality is athletes, as they get older, newsflash, they don't get better. So what I was saying before the season was, I don't believe he's going to have 150-plus points. I don't believe he's going to score 60-plus goals. I still think he's the best player in the world, which I have said countless times. He hasn't played like it the first 3 weeks of the season. But I would still vote him there. I just did a month ago. But this becomes like slander. I didn't say I thought he'd end up with 60 points and he should be on the second line and he's being overpaid. I said I don't think he's going to win Hearts anymore. I don't think he's going to win Art Ross. I'm not sure he will.
Okay,
Again, you look at the history of the award, Jonas. Gretzky, Sid, Lemieux, they won theirs in their early to mid to late 20s. He's almost 30. He's in year 11. It's very rare for a guy that late in his career to rack up Hart trophies. Could he? Absolutely. I'm not saying I'd be shocked if McDavid won a Hart trophy. Of course he could. Just saying I'm not convinced he will. And as of right now, he's not going to. Could it change in a month? Absolutely. But he hasn't won the Art Ross in the last couple of years. He hasn't won the Hart Trophy in the last couple of years.
That is what I was going to ask you.
And that's just a fact.
I'm glad you flushed it out. Now I understand.
Okay.
The last 9 Art Ross winners, so that's the league leader in points. This is how it goes since 2017. McDavid, Kucherov, Draisaitl, McDavid, Kucherov. So my question for you, I'll give you McDavid, Kucherov, Draisaitl, or the field to lead the league in scoring. Who are you taking?
Kucherov's off to such a bad start. And Tampa is in general.
Got a big goal the other, or was it a goal or was it an assist? It was a goal.
I would I think I'm going to take the field right now.
Yeah. So I believe the league leaders in scoring are
Eichel, Malkin,
Schmaltz. Who else is here?
Jack Hughes would be up there. He's off to a good
Celebrini,
start. Celebrini.
Crosby, McKinnon, Kaprizov, Will Nylander, and then some others.
So you got McKinnon in there. You got Kaprizov in there if they stay healthy.
Yeah.
Like if they're a
McKinnon
part of
would
the
be the
field.
one, right?
McKinnon is a guy that if he's a part of a field, that's a pretty safe bet and a pretty good bet.
But Eichel, man.
Eichel's off to a great start. Now, I
And not
worry
even-
about injuries.
Yeah.
I worry about injuries. But all those guys, again, Kucherov's in his 30s. Draisaitl's is 30, I believe. He's a year older than McDavid. And like it wasn't even like an opinion I was giving. It was
Illustrating facts.
the history of the sport indicates years 3, like when you're 23, 24 years old, all you're doing is hockey. That's all you're thinking about is hockey. You can't wait for a back-to-back in Columbus, in Carolina, in Florida. You're like, I just want to play. And I want to play 25 minutes and I want to score. I think when you're 29, year 11, you're like, man, I got to play tonight in Columbus on a back-to-back. I'm going to go out and I'm going to try it. I'm going to give my effort and I hope we win. But I just think it's a mentality that changes. And again, like with McDavid, you got the Olympics now. He's so cup-focused. He's recently married. I don't know if they're going to have a family at some point, a young family. Wouldn't surprise me. Like, these are just all natural things that change your life. So,
well, let me give you another one. Over under 1.5 more Rockets for Matthews.
I'd go under, I think, now. Which is crazy. But he's no different. Like, he's in year 10. He's a year younger. He's actually a few days younger.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. He's a 97. He's a 97.
28. Yeah, okay.
But remember, his birthday is September 17th, so he rolled over to the next draft year.
Right.
He's like Ovechkin.
Yeah.
So he's the same age. He's in year 10. But same thing, year 10, I don't know. Like, I think the days of 60-plus goals are probably behind him. That doesn't mean he can't or won't win a Rocket again. And I still think I'd probably place him as the best goal scorer in the league. I think he still deserves that moniker.
I'd take the over, but it's maybe like 2.
Right. It's not going to be 4 or 5.
Well, I think Ovechkin has like 9. It's not going to be that. It doesn't feel like.
Right. All right. So you're coming around.
I believe
It's
in
not
data. I
slander.
believe in facts, statistics.
Yeah, it's just the history of the sport. It's the way it works. It's a grueling sport. It's tough. All right, last night was grueling. Last night was tough if you're a Blue Jay fan on the East Coast. Like, people were sacrificing a Tuesday morning. Like, how they would look, how they would feel, going to work, going to school, getting their kids up in the morning. And all you were hoping for is the Jays would find a way to win that game. And they could not pull it off. Heartbreaking last night. Joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline, here's World Series champ, former MLBer. There he is, Eric Hosmer. What's up, Eric?
How we doing, fellas? I'm not going to lie. I made it to about 13, 14, and I had to punt early. I had to get first in line at the carpool this morning for school. I couldn't make it 18.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So when you woke up this morning and you checked your phone, were you surprised based on what you saw, 13, 14 innings, that it's a Freddie Freeman walk-off in the 18th to pull it off for the Dodgers?
So I got the situation where my 3-year-old, he's sleeping in bed with us now. So late night, I got the phone with the headphones and I'm watching the games there. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I see Freddie doing the post-game interview. And I figured it had to have been in 12 or 13. And then when I go back to watch tape this morning, 18 innings and what a thriller. I mean, just crazy. Teams all postseason long, the ALCS, especially Toronto and Seattle, and now the World Series. These guys are leaving it all out there. And I mean, baseball, it's a great time of year, obviously, because of the postseason, but baseball is not disappointing one bit.
No, it's not. It's not. And, like, I don't know if you're a believer in momentum. I don't know if you're a believer in, the mentality of a team leaving the clubhouse after a loss like that last night. But what do you think the Blue Jays are thinking and feeling as they arrive back at Dodger Stadium for Game 4 tonight?
Well, the good thing about Toronto, man, from the outside looking in, I mean, they've got their veteran leadership, don't get me wrong, but they seem like a young, energetic group that rallies around stuff like this. I mean, George Springer, it seems like he has that dugout loose and relaxed. He sets the tone at the leadoff spot. So it's a situation where, the 162-game season, you find any little thing to motivate you and get you going. So this is a situation where I think they're going to rely on guys like Springer, even if he's not in the lineup, to just motivate the group, get them going before the game, hopefully get out to a good start. And I think the goal for those boys is just get the series back to Toronto, just like last series, last ALCS against Seattle. Anything could happen at the Rogers Center, so that should be the goal.
Eric, what did you think of the Jays deciding to pitch to Otani in the 7th?
Man, that's a situation where it's like, Sir Anthony Dominguez, I understand that you're as confident in yourself and in your stuff as you can possibly be. 97 and 99, you got natural cut, you got natural sink, 3 true fastballs above 98 miles an hour. But you have to recognize Shohei Otani and just understand he's on another level. You can't be egotistic and try and take on that battle. You have to respect how good he is. And if he's hot, you have to respect him even more. And we've seen this last, 6, 7 at-bats at home, he is hot. Even his misses before that. So that was tough, man. That's a tough way to blow the lead, especially that late in the game.
Is Otani the greatest player of all time, in your opinion?
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, not only statistically, but he has his moments in the postseason. I mean, I hate to say this tonight, but like on this show, especially, I love you boys, but man, you just feel like he's on the mound tonight.
Yeah,
and you almost feel like there's going to be another moment because he's that special of a talent, and he never disappoints. There's always guys that we call the chosen ones, so to speak, and it's always like the moment just finds them, and he always just delivers in that moment. He certainly is the chosen one, and he's lived up to every single expectation he had coming over here.
Yeah, that's the incredible thing. Like, and it sucks if you're an Angels fan because you're like, this could have been us if we just put a team around him, right? Like, he's got the clutch gene. That's the amazing thing. He's doing it in the playoffs, his second straight World Series.
Everything. He's underpaid if we think about it now, right? I mean, he's $700 million, and it's like, man, what a bargain that was, huh?
No kidding. Yeah, they've made all their money back already.
But, Eric, what do you think he'll be feeling like today? 18-inning game now, like he was walked 5 times. Was it 5 times?
4 intentional, then
1.
Yes, and then the 5th was on
But he's still in the game. Like, do you think there'll be any after effect for him pitching today?
That's the thing.
He's just a freak and it's not happening.
Yeah, like I've seen this morning, a lot of people have been like, oh, he got on 9 times, he ran the bases, but like he stole the 1 time, he hit the double, maybe the first to third, but like these guys are world-class athletes, so I don't think that's too taxing on his body. I think he should be, kind of motivated in his own way to go out and get him, at least 7 innings, 6, 7 innings, because I know the Dodgers, they used a lot of guys. They only went an inning or 2 innings, where like an inning and a third, whatever it was, short appearances. But I think his goal tonight on the pitching side should be to get them as much length as possible. And, again, both teams used everything they had yesterday, especially Toronto. I think Toronto is going to really count on Bassett tonight coming out, especially for some length.
Yeah, well, exactly. And prior to that, it's going to be Shane Bieber. And Bieber, in the previous 2 rounds, had pitched Game 3. They flipped him with Scherzer because, he hasn't looked great 2 of his 3 starts. So, let's presume Shohei has his A stuff. Like, let's just get to that point. Shohei's going to give him like 6 innings tonight and be lights out. How much pressure does that put on Bieber to try to match it? And how much faith do you have in Shane Bieber in doing that tonight?
Yeah, that's definitely, that's a pressure situation. And I think that's where it's going to be a piggyback situation to where Bieber goes as long as he can go. And then even if someone's got to come up, one of those middle relief guys, and kind of clean up an inning, and then they're going to go to Bassett for as long as they can. So I think there's pressure on both guys. But just in general, man, I think, you're in at Dodger Stadium. The place is rocking now. And I think after last night's game, they have a lot of momentum. So you got to find a way to take back that momentum, which you can in 7-game series. But the Jays are going to have to really try and get it going early, and that's so much harder or easier said than done because of how taxing last night was. And those guys, they're pretty much all banged up at this point.
Well, speaking of banged up, we saw George Springer leave the game. Is he hour to hour? Is that what we're saying?
That is the latest report.
I don't know what that is.
Hour to hour.
They're going to decide every hour. But, Eric, you saw him get hurt, and let's say it's his oblique. Can you swing with that? Like, have you ever had anything like that?
No, but I know like those are, even coming back from those, once you're fully recovered, guys are hesitant to pull the trigger. So if he did something to the oblique, man, I think it's hard for him to come back, especially generate the torque he wants. It's that backside. That's going to be tough, man. I know these guys are grinders and they play through stuff, but there's being hurt and there's being injured. And I think that's something that you just physically can't really do or perform the way you want to perform.
With Eric Hosmer. So we were talking about Bieber matching Otani on the mound. Vladdy would be the matchup in terms of trying to match Otani at the plate. And, Vladdy's been so dialed in this whole month. He's been phenomenal. Yet he still does not have an extra base hit through 3 games in the World Series. What are you seeing out of Vladdy's at-bats? What are you seeing out of the way the Dodgers are pitching to him that makes you either believe he's going to break out tonight or maybe makes you believe this could continue and going to have to be someone else that steps up for the Jays.
Yeah, to me, the right-handers, it seems like they're attacking Vladdy's back foot. A lot of splitters to the back foot, a lot of low and in sinkers at 97. So that's a tough mix because think about it. If you're seeing a splitter at 88, as a hitter, you got to wait to the last possible second and try and drive that ball to right center field. And then it's the complete opposite when it's that 98-mile-an-hour sinker low and in at your back foot. You got to react as quick as possible. So Vladdy's kind of in between right now, which is a hard mix. And at the same time, it stinks now because these guys are banged up and Vladdy's essentially the only healthy one in that lineup. So I think they're just not going to pitch to Vladdy. It's going to be treat this every single pitch like it's an 0-2 pitch. Chase, don't let him beat us because we would much rather take on Kirk, which he had the big swing last night. He's got to be exhausted. But I think in result of these injuries, they're not going to let Vladdy beat him. They're just not going to pitch to him. And I think that's kind of the result in his first couple games. If you look at the sequencing, they're just treating every single pitch like it's an 0-2. Just throw it as low as you can to that back foot and get him to chase.
Yeah, it's concerning because I think you're right. If Springer doesn't go tonight, that's a huge bat out of the lineup. Bichette is at 60% maybe, and he has he hasn't hit for power. He squibbed a couple of balls, that have found gaps. He's got on base a couple times, but he's not at 100%. You mentioned Kirk. They pulled him from the game last night, I think, based on exhaustion. I don't know. Will Smith kept going. It might have been speed, but Heineman's not exactly Ricky Henderson, so I don't know exactly what the plan was there. So you're right. I mean, I guess you're banking on Ernie Clement continuing to do what he's been doing, Nathan Lucas, Addison Barger. It's tough because the Dodgers, if it's not Shohei and you're going to pitch around him, Betts is going to come alive at some point. Like Mookie hasn't done much through 3 games. You got to believe he's going to have a moment. Freeman had one last night. Smith is clutch. Muncie's clutch. Like, how do the Jays keep up if Vladdy's going to be pitched around?
Yeah, and I think, like you said, Mookie, he knows now pretty much after the first inning, which we might even see history and see Shohei get walked intentionally the first at bat of the bottom of the first. So Mookie knows that besides that first inning, he's going to come up in some big situations tonight. So I think Mookie, the competitor, he's one of those guys chosen like we talked about earlier. He knows that situation is going to come see him. But to me, this was the big difference in, the Dodgers and why they're so much better than everybody else is because the depth. I mean, when you look at some of the moves Toronto made last night from the offensive end, we mentioned they took out Kirk when Barger came out of the game, when Bichette got hurt and Springer. I remember they just took Bichette out. The depth really showed up. And I mean, Toronto's lineup late in the game there, it was like, man, if they don't, if Vladdy doesn't get this done, I don't see the spot where it's going to happen. So that's a situation where that big market really showed up for the Dodgers and that money they spent because the depth, I mean, they had the depth for days on the position player side, and it showed up in the bullpen as well. They had some uncharacteristic performances from some guys.
Can we just talk about that a second? Are they actually going to intentionally walk him to start the game? Like, do you think that's actually going to happen?
You think it's the right play?
Is that a good idea?
Yeah, I probably would set the tone immediately. Just say you're
literally you're putting a guy on base to start a game.
Just stop. Would it shock you if you hit a home run? The first pitch
you want to start a rally to start. Eric, I don't know.
I'm walking him, man. I'm walking him immediately.
At this point in time, nothing surprises me. You know what I mean? But I guess if they did it last night in the 7th inning, I don't know if it was tied or up 1. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
They were up.
I'll definitely be glued to the TV to see if it happens.
Yeah, they were up 5-4 in the 7th inning.
I think you got to go after him to start the game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, maybe you go after him the first time. He hits a home run, then you walk him.
Yeah.
Right? You let him get one home run in, and then you start walking him. Good game plan.
Man, it's just real quick.
Plan.
I mean, that's the level of respect this guy Otani has, is they're walking him in these situations, and he's got a Hall of Famer behind him in Mookie Betts and another one in Freddie Freeman to follow. Like, this guy is just on another level.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is, and it's L.A., and like you've played there, I'm sure, a bunch in your career. It's got to be wild playing. Like, Mary Hart didn't move for 4 hours last night.
Her husband, if that's her husband, he seemed like he was with it too.
Like, Mary didn't move at any point the whole game, man. That's got to be so strange, seeing Mary Hart just basically a statue. She's so dialed in. She loves the Dodgers so much, and, like, she doesn't move the whole game.
Absolutely dialed in for all 18 last night. I mean, incredible. Yeah. That's probably the second best performance besides Otani.
Yes, it was Otani and then Mary Hart. Magic made it through the whole game. I think Bieber was there the whole night, although he might have tapped out early. I don't know if
I mean, you
Bieber
can't blame you guys for tapping out early, man. That was star-studded last night there.
That was. It's going to be crazy, I'm sure, again tonight. We'll see. All right, Eric. Always appreciate it. Enjoy the games tonight.
All right, fellas. Just get it back to the Rogers Center. Remember, just get it back to the Rogers Center, baby.
That's the plan. That's the plan. There he is, World Series champ, Eric Hosmer. Great seeing you as always. We appreciate you doing this. And that's got to be the thought, right? Just get back to the Rogers Center, even if you're down 3-2. Then you got a 2-game series at home for the World Series. You can live with that?
Yeah, I've started to think, like, you mentioned Savage maybe pitching Game 5.
Game 5, yes.
Do you change that now at all?
No, I think you got to put faith in your rotation now. I still think the Jays are going to win one of these 2 games. It feels like it's got to be tonight, but they have been so resilient. I think they deserve the benefit of the doubt. Like they've been in the series. Even Game 2, Yamamoto was phenomenal. They lost 3-1. It was tied 1-1.
Yeah.
Until the 7th inning. Like it's the action's been in the 7th inning. Springer hit his home run in Game 7 in the 7th inning. I guess it was the 6th inning when they put 9 on the board in Game 1.
Yeah.
But they have been right there with the Dodgers. They have not been outplayed. They have not been outperformed. This has been a great World Series through 3 games.
Great, yeah.
And I think the Jays, I fully expect they show up and they grind and they battle and they put a performance together. Will it be good enough? We'll see. But I would not be surprised at all if they got back in the saddle and won tonight.
Well, I think you identified it. The key performer, like if you were going to pick one guy, do you like X Factor? Is that a thing you like?
Sure, yeah, I'm an X Factor guy.
Yeah, you're an Bieber, right? Like
yes.
You need like 6.
Yes.
Right? Like
phenomenal
minimum.
Innings.
Yeah.
Like you got to come up and challenge guys and throw strikes.
It's that lineup has like they don't have weak spots. Like Kike Hernandez is like a weak spot, but he's awesome in the playoffs.
He's had more like clutch hits than anyone.
He's clutch in the playoffs. He's great. Like they don't have, you know what I mean? Like Seattle, it was like, oh, Luis Rivas is coming up. It's like soft. They don't have that.
Not
like their number
really.
9 hitter, Pajes, is in like a major slump this year or right now. He hit bombs during the year. Like he could hit one out anytime.
Well, there's a few guys in their lineup that haven't done much. Like again, Mookie hasn't done much.
Right.
Muncy hasn't done much.
No.
Smith had the big home run in Game 2.
The Oscar's been pretty good.
The Oscars had moments for sure. Yeah, listen, they're a stacked lineup. There's no disputing that. But the Jays' offense has been very potent too.
Yeah.
Like they scored more runs than
Explosive.
the Dodgers throughout 3 games.
Yeah.
A bit deceptive because of Game 1, but still, like they're going to show up. I think they show up and play. I am curious to see if which team comes to life quicker. Like if they both ease into this game.
Well, that's why you're talking about Otani walking him to start the game. It's like
I think it's a legitimate conversation.
It 100% is. I'm not saying you're wrong.
He deserves that level of respect.
Because like I'm thinking back to like Bonds. Bonds didn't bat leadoff, so you could kind of ease your way into the lineup. I think he batted 3rd. Maybe even 4th.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like to walk a guy to start the game, that's why having him bat leadoff is just so tough. Like you're just, you know what I mean? Like you're just starting the game with the best player in the league.
It's brilliant. Like that's modern baseball for you because over the course of the year, he just gets more at bats.
Yeah.
He's coming up and he's protected. Like again, you got Mookie and Freeman right there. And even them, that doesn't even do anything. It's still the right move to intentionally walk him. And I don't have a strong feeling on the first inning, but I wouldn't hold it against them if they said, forget it, walk him. Just take him completely out of the game. You're not allowed to bat. Here's a free pass every time you come up. Outside of possibly a bases loaded scenario. Where,
do you think you're playing with fire a little bit with bets, where you're basically continuing to? I don't think disrespect him, but because it's so much about respect for Otani, but you're basically saying we can get you out.
Well, we have a better chance of doing it. But you don't think Mookie knows that? I think Mookie Betts is pretty aware of the greatness of Otani.
But at some point, you figure he's going to burn you for that.
I think it's a scenario where if you pitch to him, it's a quote unquote pitching to him. In other words, nothing is close to the zone. But that's scary because Dominguez wasn't supposed to throw the pitch he threw last night.
Yeah.
That wasn't his plan.
I flipped over to the Fox feed, and John Smoltz was basically like, hey, he just needs to keep it really outside if he's going to pitch him. And then it's like right down the middle. Middle,
and he didn't miss. And that's the fear. If you allow Bieber, hey, just nibble the strike zone or just throw away, don't challenge him, one gets away from him, Otani's going to hit it. So, I don't know. It's fascinating to see what he's going to do. Like, think about how much his presence immediately factors into the game. He's starting.
Yeah.
Like, he is throwing the first pitch tonight, and then he's coming up first in the bottom of the inning. It's the Otani show immediately tonight. And they got to figure out a way to solve it. And even and here's another reality. Let's say they do pitch to him, which I don't think they're going to every time he's up the bat. But even if he gets you, then you got to find a way to keep up.
Against him.
Yes. Look what happened last night.
Bizarre.
And they did keep up. He had 2 home runs, 2 doubles. It was 5-5 extra innings.
There's
the rest of the game he didn't have a hit because they never pitched to him.
Yeah. It's just so nuts. Like, they have to score against him.
But you're not thinking this way clearly. You're thinking about your own team, and you want the Jays to find a way to win. Goes without saying. But there will be an appreciation for this in the future.
Totally.
That Blue Jay fans will settle in and say, man, the Jays played Otani in the World Series. Like, you'll reference that 30, 40, 50 years from now. I got to see my team play Shohei Otani in the World Series. Doesn't get much better than that. And if you can beat him, talk about momentum. Jays find a way to run him out of the game tonight, keep his bat in check, and they win. Everything starts spinning their way.
Yeah, I guess that's the key, or will be a key, right? How you start the game. Like, if you can jump all over him in the first, then maybe your plan changes. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. First pitch, less than 3 hours away. Puck drop in about 45 minutes for Leafs Flames tonight. Come back and get into that. Chiefs looking pretty good last night. Kansas City's starting to scare me. They're admittedly starting to make some statements.
Their offense looks like it's back.
And their defense, yes, Marcus Mariota, but still they're phenomenal. You know Spags is still the best DC in the game. All right, confirm or deny coming up. Best bets coming up. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
I can neither confirm or deny that this is in fact a segment.
Boston trades Andrew Raycroft to Toronto in exchange for the rights to Tuukka Rask.
It's been my honor and a privilege to serve as the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey Club.
It's time for Confirm or Deny.
Do you regret giving all those gentlemen the no trades or no movement clauses?
I can neither confirm or deny that.
I can't confirm or deny.
All right, Jonas, confirm or deny. Statements are made. We confirm them or we deny them. Very simple stuff. Let's begin with a World Series confirm or deny. Confirm or deny. If the Blue Jays do not win tonight, they will not win the World Series. Must win, literally, for the Jays.
Deny. It's a 7-game series. It's not over. It would not be great. And I guess they did release the starters for Game 5, so it is what you said, Snell, Yosavage. Tough spot it would be for Yosavage if you lose tonight, Dodger Stadium. But no, I don't think it's over if you lose tonight. I don't like until it's actually a must-win. It's not a must-win. I know you're going to disagree with me. That's
no,
okay.
my instinct is a confirm. My instinct is a confirm. But this season is such a rarity that I am going to deny it. Like we had Tim Kirkjian on when the Jays were down 0-2. And he said, I believe they can win it. I believe they can come back and win this series against Seattle because baseball has been crazy this year. Nothing makes sense what's been happening. And I think that applies to the World Series, and I think it applies to this Blue Jay team, who, again, have been incredibly resilient all year.
Yeah.
And have come off the mat and come alive. And I think they just got to get back to the Rogers Center, where they have been so good at home. The crowd will be going crazy. Yes, you're going to face Yamamoto in Game 6, which is an incredibly difficult task. May be too tough in the end. Obviously, the Dodgers would be in the driver's seat. But I might surprise you. I'm not as cynical as I once was.
Well, and like to your point, like it was 0-2, it was 3-2, and then they were down in Game 7. So we've seen this is a different beast, I guess would be the thing.
Yeah, this one against the Dodgers in the World Series, possibly with injuries piling up, if Springer's not going to be available. Big challenge. The biggest challenge. But a doable challenge, regardless of what that percentage might look like. Confirm or deny based on what we were just talking about. Shohei Otani should not see another pitch the whole series.
The whole series.
The rest of the series.
You're just going to walk him
Auto walk.
4 or 5 times a game?
Auto walk.
No, deny. I think I don't think you can operate that way. Can you? Like, you're just handing them a base runner every time. Now you're going to say, well, if you pitch to him, he's not going to hit a home run every single time he comes up to bat, is he? Every time?
Okay, a double a couple times. He was
deny
2 doubles, 2 home runs before they decided to finally intentionally walk him.
Yeah,
and intentionally walking him was not the problem for them last night. Freeman didn't hit him home in the 18th. They walked him 5 straight times.
I just also don't love the message it sends.
I agree with you maybe when you're trying to prove who you are in June and July. We've had these existential conversations before. You send your ace out there and Aaron Judge is in town, challenge him. Challenge him because it's June and you don't want to make it look like you're running from somebody. This is the World Series. You got to put pride aside.
But it's not just pride. Like, you're giving them a base runner every single time.
As opposed to him lapping the bases and tapping home plate.
To me, it would be dependent on the matchup.
Okay.
Like, if I guess, like, Bieber's a good question. Like, do I want Bieber facing him 3 times?
No.
I don't know.
No chance.
I'm not. No, I'm denying. Every single time, no way.
So he's guaranteed probably at least 8 more at-bats in the series if the Dodgers win the next 2 and it doesn't go extra innings.
At least, yeah.
Like 8 straight intentional walks.
Coupled with the previous game, are you going to walk him 13 straight times? Even Bonds, like...
Yeah, Bonds did not even get that treatment.
No.
All right.
You're with me?
I'm going to deny it, but I'm doing so reluctantly. I like, again, the instinct in me says just take him, like, face 8 guys in their lineup. Take him out of the series with a bat in his hand.
But you're not.
They didn't do it to Raleigh. They didn't do it to Judge.
Yeah, but
and is Otani that much better than those 2 guys? No. Like, is he hotter right now at Dodger Stadium?
He's
yes.
that much better than those guys.
He's not that much better than Aaron Judge.
Okay. All right.
He's not, Jonas.
You're right.
Kyle Raleigh's a different story, but Raleigh's had a phenomenal year. And Raleigh burned him a few times.
Yeah.
Or maybe they should have pitched around him. But it's too difficult. You just don't know what the situation is.
That's the thing. Like, if it's 2-1 in the 5th and there's nobody on, yeah, I'll probably walk him.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it's too score-dependent, reliever-dependent.
Right. Bases loaded. What else is going on behind him? What else is going on in the game? It's too difficult to do it right now, but I guarantee you Schneider and Walker and company are having this chat. Like, probably over beers last night at 4 a.m. in L.A. They're like, what are we doing with this guy the rest of the series? How do you handle him? All right, confirm or deny. The Maple Leafs should still be favored to finish top 2 in the Atlantic Division.
Oh, man. So who is in that mix? We have Florida.
Right now it's Montreal.
Yeah, okay. So
Montreal,
I was going to
Florida.
start with the top. So Florida, Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess you get into Montreal,
Ottawa, Detroit.
Confirmed. They still should be favored.
Finish top 2, not top 3, top 2.
But it's getting a little, it's still October, but there are a lot of signs that are nerve-wracking if you're believing in their potential.
What is your number 1 reason for nerves?
That is a great question. There's not a number 1. There's too many things. There is their defensive play. Their goaltending has not been as good, partly due to the defensive play. Matthews looks okay, but he doesn't look like he did 2 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever. Their power plays looked That happens. I'm not super concerned about that. Their depth is like So there's like a lot of they're older. Their defense is older. We're seeing some injuries. I don't know that that's age related, but
that's a lot of reasons for pessimism. What you're laying out here.
I'm trying to think. So tell me some reasons for optimism. So Tavares is off to a good start. Is that going to last? I don't know. He's shooting like 20-something%, but he seems to score
every single year. He has the same season.
Okay,
effectively.
Ekman Larsson's off to a pretty good start, offensively at least.
I think the reasons for optimism are that collectively they have done it before.
Mm-hmm.
You're not asking them to do something they've never done before.
True.
I think a veteran team it always takes them a little bit longer to get going.
Fair.
And they're one of the oldest teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They're a very veteran team. Matthews, hasn't been overly impressive. He's been fine. If he's healthy, I think there's reasons to believe he has a heater, on the way. Like he's got a heater coming that he's going to start dominating games again. Haven't seen it through 9 games.
No.
Haven't seen it. Willie's been very potent offensively.
Mm-hmm.
And the division, Montreal has been outstanding to their credit. They've been very good. Are they a powerhouse team? I don't believe they have achieved that yet.
No.
They have a lot of things breaking their way, a lot of reasons they're doing it themselves. Like Demidov's been very good. Hudson's been good. What's that goaltending tandem going to look like all season? We'll see. Ottawa didn't have a great start. They've won a couple games in a row. They've looked good, but they've got injuries, Tkachuk in particular. Florida and Tampa are not off the good starts.
No.
I don't believe Detroit is legit.
But maybe what's
what
happening
they've shown.
There's not 2 or 3 really good teams at the top. Maybe there's just 5 or 6 that are just
very similar.
Yeah, and they're all just kind of good, but they're not great.
Right, and maybe the second place team in the division has 101 points.
Yeah, or
maybe 99.
Yeah,
and can the Leafs get there? Yes, I still believe they can.
If I gave you 99.5 over under for the Leafs, take the over.
I think I would still take the over.
So I was 100, 101 coming into the year, and I'm still there.
It's not a great start, but it's literally the same start they had last year.
Yeah, but there's a big difference. They lost their second, first, third best player, and they did not replace him. And that, they are feeling it.
Do you think that is the primary reason they're not playing well? Because Mitch Marner's?
No,
let's say Marner's here. Let's say Marner's here. What do you think their record is?
Well, I mean, last year their record wasn't that great.
4-1, I
yeah,
believe.
and the year before in October it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. But he touched so many parts of the game, and they just don't have the puck as much, especially when he would have been on the ice. That's the thing with him. He not only was he good with the puck, making plays, he was so good at getting it back. His takeaway skills, especially when it was him and Matthews together, was they just would hunt down the puck and just I'm going to take that.
Yeah, the retriever was very, very elite.
They don't spend that much time in the offensive zone. I think they've looked a little better of late. And maybe it's what you're talking about. Maybe it's just older team, new parts. Joshua's gotten a little better. Michelli's been okay-ish. Ernie Michelli. I think I like Waugh. I kind of like what he brings, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of questions right now.
Yeah, totally. And they've it's on them to answer them. What's going on within their division? And they won the division last year. It doesn't mean anything. You don't get anything because of that. But they did recover after a slow start last year. They have recovered almost every year after a slow October. But it's usually with a very impressive November.
Yes.
A rock star November.
Yeah.
Their schedule has been so soft.
That's the other part of this.
That's the glass half full, is that this should have been a layup start for them to rack up 18, 20 points, and they haven't done it. And the next 2 nights are no different. Calgary tonight, Columbus tomorrow. You should take advantage of that.
Do you believe their goaltending will get back to just being okay?
See, that would be that's my number one reason.
You think?
For why I think it could be more of a struggle this year. Because Stolarz was phenomenal last year.
Yes.
When he played. He was phenomenal. Statistically, one of the 4 or 5 best goalies in the league.
Yeah.
Wall stayed healthy and was reliable.
Yeah, he was fine.
Now you got a scenario where I honestly don't know what Joseph Woll's going to be. I'm pulling for him. I hope he gets right back at it and plays great. But regardless of why you miss time, it's been proven and documented. It's very difficult to recover during the season. It's very difficult to catch up during the season.
You almost never see someone miss camp and then have a good year.
Exactly.
Ever.
Whether it's from injury, whether it's from a contract dispute, whatever the reason is, if you miss camp and then a good portion of the opening of the season, it's very difficult to get your game right. And I don't see why that logic wouldn't apply to Joseph Woll.
Well, in the context you always have to provide with Stolarz is, yes, he had very good numbers. He played 33, 34 games.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder when you're playing 50 or you're playing 45. There's a reason nobody has a .926 save percentage, right? Like, I don't know what Hellebuck ended up with last year, but it wasn't that. It was close.
In the range.
But
that's
like,
the best
he's
of the
best
He
goalie
won the
in
MVP.
league. Yes. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So I would, their goaltending won them a lot of games last year.
Yes.
Like
it was
a
top
lot.
5 in the league, statistically.
And I don't know, has it won them any games this year?
No, but that's
maybe
the weird
opening
part.
night.
He's
maybe
been very good at times, right? Like Stolarz.
Mm-hmm.
And it still hasn't been enough. So.
All right, let me fire a football one at you here. The last confirm or deny. Confirm or deny the Kansas City Chiefs will make it to at least the AFC Championship game.
Confirm. That's like a 99.9%.
It's a layup for you?
A layup. I mean, when was the last time they weren't?
They go every single year.
Every single year. And they
been
just
6 or 7 years in a row.
And every year we have the same conversation.
This is the year someone's going to get them.
Yeah, and then
I'm confirming it
just
soon.
Happens.
It's pretty incredible. We went from the Brady, Belichick, Pat's dynasty right into Mahomes, Reed, Chiefs. Like the baton was just passed, and Brady beat him twice in New England in 19, and then as a Buck in 2020.
Yeah.
Beat him twice. That was the last time they lost the championship game. Maybe they've lost. No, I think it might have been when Brady went into Arrowhead. I think it was Mahomes' first full year as a starter.
You're right.
And the Pats won that year, and then went on to win the Super Bowl.
You're confirming, right?
Yeah, I'm going to confirm it.
Because every year we're like, I mean, you saw it coming into this year. It's like this is the Bills year.
Bills are scaring me. At Oliver.
I can't wait.
Could be done for the year.
Bills Chiefs.
When is that? Next week?
It's this week. Sunday.
This week?
Yeah.
You got possibly Game 6 of the World Series on Friday, Game 7 on Saturday, Chiefs Bills on Sunday. Sets up pretty well. All right, there you go. Confirm it tonight. We'll come back with our best bets. We got the Frozen Frenzy today. 16 games in the NHL. You can bet them all on FanDuel. This is a parlay you're looking for. 16-game parlay. I'm not planning on doing that, but I'm going to hit a few of them. And props. I mean, there's so many different things you could play, of course, on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. So we'll get to that and more still to come. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 2. All right, best bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Frozen Frenzy. 16 games, 32 NHL teams playing today. On a Tuesday in October.
Opposite the World Series.
Opposite the World Series. Where the Blue Jays and the Dodgers, two of the biggest hockey markets out there, are playing in it. But it's all good. I'm curious how many celebrities show up for the Dodger game tonight.
Mary Hart will be there for sure, right?
She is so dialed in.
Game.
Like, she doesn't move. She doesn't get up. She doesn't stand. She doesn't leave. She just sits there and watches every single pitch with intensity. I have a lot of appreciation for that. Magic made it through the whole game. I think I saw Bill Simmons there last night.
Mm-hmm. Jason Bateman.
Was Bateman there?
I think Sean Hayes was there.
Oh, yeah?
His smart list partner.
There you go. Was Will Arnett there?
I did not see him.
If Will Arnett was there, doesn't he have to be repping the Blue Jays? Like, he's Mr. Toronto, right?
Yeah. You said Bieber was there?
Bieber was there with Haley as well.
Their celebs kind of top the Toronto celebs pretty handily.
Yeah. We had Drake in a Rob Ford jacket.
Eugene Levy.
Was Eugene there for one of the first two games?
I believe.
I didn't see Geddy Lee.
He was there in the Seattle series. Geddy Lee was there in Seattle.
Okay. Because I've been at every game, so I don't know who's in the park.
That's a nice flex by you.
Whatever. All right. I've got a 4 anytime goal scorer parlay. This is paying plus 3,200.
Nice.
Austin Matthews scoring tonight.
Nice.
Okay. Pavel Dorofeyev, who Mitch Marner thinks might be the best goal scorer he's ever played with. Dorofeyev.
I think he has 7 goals already.
He's got a lethal shot. And I'm joking a little bit, but Mitch was pumping his tires like he should. His line mate, his teammate, loves Dorofeyev. Sure, he would say Matthews is the best goal scorer he's ever played with. Yeah. I would think he would say that. David Pastrnak, anytime goal scorer tonight. And Alex Ovechkin, anytime goal scorer. All right, I'm playing the hits here.
Yeah.
But it's paying plus 3,200. This is the night.
I like
Get after it. Best bets powered by FanDuel. Same game parlays now available on this Frozen Frenzy on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly. 19 plus, physically located in Ontario. Game 4 of the World Series tonight. What do you see happening this evening?
I'm still so fascinated to see what they do with the lineup. Like, we don't know about Springer. He's hour to hour.
I can't picture him playing.
I can't either. So what do? They DH Bichette.
Mm-hmm.
Who bats lead off? How do they attack Otani? How does Otani pitch? How does everyone look? How do the bullpens look?
Well, you got to think Lauer is not an option tonight.
No, but maybe Bassett can. Bassett's been awesome since, like, he's become like their eighth inning guy.
Good.
He's been great.
Yeah, very good. I felt for Brendan Little last night.
Yeah, you knew that was going to happen.
Like, he takes the loss.
Yes,
he's the guy on the mound. He gave him the 17th inning. Pitched very well.
Yeah,
kept them alive. Allowed the bats to come up again, and then he's got to face Freddie Freeman, and it just was never going to happen. Once they didn't score in the top of that inning, there was no chance Little was getting out of that one scot-free. He wasn't giving you 2 clean innings. It's asking too much.
It's kind of remarkable, like, how far he's kind of dropped down the depth chart, that he was used in that situation last series, and now he's like literally the last guy they used.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It tells you like where they're at with him as well, right?
Right. The highest leverage you could ever be in, Game 5 against Seattle.
Yeah.
And you run Brendan Little out, and now you reluctantly pitch him because you have no other option.
In the 18th inning.
In the 18th inning, Game 3 of the World Series. Which, if you're not ever going to use him, why is he even on the roster? Like, you had to use him last night.
I guess because he's a lefty?
I guess.
Another lefty?
And like Rodriguez wasn't going to pitch because he's been terrible.
Yeah, and Fluharty's like,
Fluharty couldn't get them out of that jam when Scherzer came out of the game last night.
Couldn't
anyway,
either lefty. Yeah.
No, I know. Let's see what we got tonight.
It's fun. It's fun to look forward to these games.
Game 4 of the World Series, man. Shohei Otani, it's amazing. Leaf game to start. The Leafs will lift everyone up in Toronto.
Sure.
That's their reputation. Leafs roll tonight to make sure everyone feels good. I can feel it coming. All right, Jonas, good seeing you. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and, of course, up on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at 4 p.m. We'll chat then.